Hey, what's up everybody? Video 44 coming at you in another video. Alright, so trying to work out this new device situation here. I don't know if y'all can see this, but your boy got a device, so we're going to try to make some sense of all this. Alright, so the Los Angeles Lakers won the game 129-126 against the Brooklyn Nets, and it was a barn burner at the end because we put in our young guys and they weren't taking the greatest shots, to be completely honest with you. A lot of losing shots, and we're going to have to teach a lot in regards to this team, which is what I'm most concerned about. If it really does come down to us using some of these guys, are they going to be seasoned enough to get us where we're going, or are we going to have to shorten our bench quite a bit, taking away from some of our depth as we can approach the near the end of the season in the playoffs and when basketball is more meaningful? That is my concern about the Lakers. But overall, I thought we did really good today. First of all, you got to talk about the players who played well at the beginning of the game. D'Lo was fantastic, 14 points, 6 assists on 16 minutes, 4 out of 5 3-point shooting. Once again, coach shut his minutes down early, but the boy was on fire. He's been on fire the last 2 games. He would have had 30-plus points in both of these games, if you ask me, if we would have just allowed ourselves to use him. But, of course, we didn't want to do that because it's a preseason. Austin Reeves had a pretty good game, 20 minutes of play, 5 out of 7 field goals, 4 out of 6 from behind the arc, so his 3-point shot was falling, 4 out of 4 from the free throw line. LBJ, not the most efficient night from the 3, 1 out of 4, but did have 3 out of 8. He also played only in the first half, had 17 minutes of play, 10 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds. Taurean Prince was really good, 3 out of 5 from behind the arc, 5 for 7 from the field, 20 minutes of play. I thought he was really stroking the ball real nice. Of course, he had 5 personal fouls. He's been having foul issues since putting on the purple and gold, a total of 11 fouls in 2 games. So he's going to have to figure out a way how to play big defense without fouling. Anthony Davis was a plus 17. I had it wrong at the halftime. I told you guys in the second half of that video that he had 17 points after saying that he had 13 points, but it was a plus 17 to plus minus with 13.7 rebounds, an assist, and 3 blocks to go along with that. 1 out of 3 from the field, from the 3, and 4 out of 6 from the field in 14 minutes of play. So you just really like what you saw from the starters in limited minutes, and then we went to the young guys, and they really chipped in, man. Rui Hachimura, first of all, you want to mention him, fresh off the bench, 8 out of 14 from the field. His efficiency is extremely high as usual. Nobody's surprised about that. He barely missed most of the time when he played for us last year. 19 points, 5 rebounds. Christian Wood had a really nice second half, 4 out of 10 field goals, 10 points, 6 rebounds, 2 steals. Let's see what else we have here. I thought Jackson Hayes really played well with the minutes he had, 4 out of 4 from the field, plus 12 in the plus minus, 8 points, 7 rebounds, and a steal. I really thought he shined tonight. And the guy I thought really shined as well was Maxwell Lewis, man. Max Lewis had 4 or 5 field goals, 2 out of 3 from behind the arc. Was only with minus 2, but what else? Had 10 points, 2 turnovers, 2 fouls, 2 rebounds, and an assist. So I thought he really shined in his hometown, Vegas. Probably the only time we're going to see him play where he's from. So I know he was happy to play well. So yeah, that's really what it was. You know, Max Christie had kind of a cold night tonight. 1 out of 6 from the 3, and those were the only shots he attempted. 3 rebounds, just not a great Max Christie night. Demoy Hodge was 0 for 4 from behind the arc, but did have a very key steal down the stretch of the basketball game to help seal it for us. Jalen Hood-Schifino's inefficiency continues, 0 for 5 from the field, 0 for 3 from behind the arc. 4 assists, very nice assists, so he did chip in as a point guard doing other things, but the ball's not falling for him. So you can kind of see how we had a big lead in this game. We're up by as much as I believe it was 19, and ended up having a barn burner on the end. And it was just one of those situations where you know these kids are going to learn, but it's going to take some time for them to figure it out. So, you know, I'm pleased with them. I don't have an issue with what I saw. I think at the end of the day, you just want to make sure these guys are getting their reps. The young players, you know what I mean? Nobody was really upset at them. The team was very much engaged in what was going on out there. But ultimately, we were able to get the victory, man. We were able to get the victory. Colin Castleton really did well on the offensive rebounds. I having internet issues I've been having the whole time with this particular device and the Wi-Fi here. They're not good bedfellows. But ultimately, you know, we're very pleased with what the Lakers showed us tonight. You know what I mean? We were able to get a victory after losing to the Golden State Warriors in the first preseason game. And, you know, what you want to see from your team more than anything else is just an intensity on both sides. I thought the intensity was definitely on the offensive side, but we couldn't get stops where we needed to, and that's why the game was respectable in the way that it was. I thought that Demoy Hodge really stepped up in the end again with the block, with the steal there that really sealed for us what we needed. Maxwell Lewis really shined in the fourth quarter. Most of what he did was in that quarter. And, I was just very impressed overall with the team, man. You really want to give credit to LeBron James for coming back. Year 21, man. What can I say? How impressive is he still being able to do the things that he does at 38 years of age, going to be 39 this year. It's very impressive to see him do that. And, of course, Anthony Davis just going crazy with a +7 team out there. For a fact that he's ready to go. But who's impressed me the most on this team, if I were to give the game ball to anybody, would be D'Angelo Russell, even though he didn't play in the second half. He was just absolutely phenomenal in the first quarter, just knocking shots down and giving the Brooklyn Nets fits. And I'm telling you, if he continues to play like this could be a big season for D'Lo, man. Nobody's really expecting him to go crazy like he did with the Brooklyn Nets when he made an all-star team several years back. But that's the kind of conditioning that I'm seeing from D'Angelo Russell at this point. When you couple that with the efficiency of a guy like Rui Hachimura playing well, Austin Reeves chipping in with high efficiency, you can really see where this team can go places, honestly. Coupled with, of course, our core, Taurean Prince shooting as well as he did. If only we can get him out of foul trouble, would be great. The ball didn't really fall for a couple of our guys, though. We had some really cold players and some really hot players. That was just the name of the game tonight. But, it's all about how we ultimately handle adversity, regardless of whether we win or lose. And I think the team really handled their adversity very well, and I thought they stayed together. Not a whole lot of long faces about anything. All of the bench was standing up on the end, cheering the young guys on. It was just a good atmosphere, and you could tell we were very, very pleased, regardless of the outcome. So the fact that we got the win is a good thing. I know this game provides some teachable moments for our basketball team, for our coaching staff, allow our guys to ultimately learn what they need to learn. I thought the shot selection in the fourth quarter was particularly bad, but that's not something that we can't learn from and definitely take positives from. So we're going to have to improve on the defensive end, man. I do love the fact that we can score a million threes with this unit, but some of the same players that we're asking to score a lot really don't defend as well as what we're used to. So we're going to have to respect that we're just not the same team. And our best defense may be offense this season, depending on who's on the floor and what rotations we're using. I thought you really saw Christian Wood shine in specific moments, which is how I think we're kind of going to use Christian Wood. We're going to kind of just cater to him maybe the first half of the third quarter or something like that, and just try to feed him a concerted amount to get him going and let him get his rhythm. And I think if we take that route, he's going to run scores up, especially if we put the right defensive players around him. So I kind of like what Darvin Ham is doing with Christian Wood, just trying to make sure he gets his confidence very early and get his understanding that he's somebody we trust to score the ball, and we're not looking at him to be someone he's not. And I thought he really did some good things. We saw that two-hand dunk I've been telling y'all about. And we know he can be efficient from all facets of the offensive end. And he did some good things passing the ball as well. If only my stats would be able to show up with my internet connection going south for the 178th time with this device. But nevertheless, what we saw tonight was ultimately us experimenting with our team and ultimately getting a lot from them. The efficiency of a guy like Austin Reeves really stands out, man. You just love the fact that he's coming fresh back from the USA basketball FIBA tournament and really showed that he can continue to do some of the same things that we saw him do with the Lakers without any breaks whatsoever. Very impressive stuff. Rui Hachimura and the work that he's done with LeBron James in the offseason, I've been very pleased with what I'm seeing from a ball handling perspective. He looked real herky-jerky last year with the ball in his hands trying to dribble. This year, you could see him working with Phil Handy and some of those in and out moves and things of that nature that ultimately are going to make him much more mobile down there with the ball in his hands. I'm excited about Rui Hachimura. He's putting in the work, and it shows. And his conditioning is fantastic as well. This could be a very big season for him, as well as a number of our guys. I would love to tell you what the Brooklyn Nets did, but again, internet issues. It's been a nightmare with this damn thing. But nevertheless, I can tell you that the Brooklyn Nets put up a hell of a fight, man. You cannot take away from the other team, because at the end of the day, they did have a 19-point deficit. This is the preseason. They could have folded, and they refused to. They kept coming at the LA Lakers. And I think they have a positive season ahead for themselves. You know, guys like Darius Baisley and Noah Clowney, Dennis Smith Jr., Lonnie Walker, you know, they all pitched in the way that they were supposed to ultimately make this a real game. And, you know, I can't say enough about both teams tonight, just giving us exactly what we expect to see from a pace standpoint, from an entertainment standpoint. Teams did not give up. Young players were fighting for opportunities to make teams and things of that nature, and you just love what you saw. I really liked that I saw Maxwell Lewis really shine tonight. I was worried about him in a way in regards to what type of opportunities he would get. He would need to play well in the preseason, in my opinion, in order to have the confidence of the team. And I think he shined very well, man. He had a hell of a windmill dunk. A couple 3-point shots fell for him. He made a few plays on the defensive end that I really appreciated. So I'm excited about Maxwell Lewis. I know he had a hell of a year last year with the Pepperdine. What do they call it, Pepperdine? I don't know. At Pepperdine. And was really very helpful in stretching the floor for his team specifically. And his athleticism shined as well. But his defense, a little suspect. Ultimately, we saw him play well on both sides of the floor tonight and really had a fantastic game in his hometown. So I was really happy about that. And, of course, I want to mention Jackson Hayes, who's been jumping off of the screen, had a fantastic tip-in dunk off of LeBron James layup. I think it was at the buzzer of the halftime, second quarter, rather. You just love the athleticism of this guy, you know what I mean? He's putting himself in positions to get easy buckets for us and really shined on the boards as well. And, you know, we got a really deep team. I keep telling people this may be the deepest team in the league. I think it is. Utah is pretty deep, too, to be honest with you guys. I think they probably rival us, OKC as well. But those are the teams that I look at and say their bench and their starters should be able to keep the leads no matter what's going on. If they find themselves in a situation where they got a rolled ankle or something like that, these teams should be able to put more talent on the floor to continue to throw at whatever's coming at them. So I'm excited about us. And I like the poise of players like Jalen Hood-Schifino and Gabe Vincent, who didn't necessarily shoot well, but were able to contribute in other areas, try to make up for what it is they weren't able to do efficiently. So that's really where the thought is. I just thought the guys tried to help one another tonight in ways that you ultimately want to see Laker teams do every year. And so, yeah, that's really what it's about, man. I know we could have won this game with a relative amount of ease if we would have continued to use the guys that were ultimately getting us going in the first half. But I would much rather do it this way and let the young guys try to get some clutch minutes down the stretch to try to see if they can win basketball games, see what type of decision-making they have, see what type of instincts they have when it comes to winning. And to be honest with you, I didn't love the instincts. Sometimes you look at guys and you say, what kind of shot are you taking to put us in a position to either win or lose a basketball game? And some of the shots we were taking, we can clearly see some of these dudes, we're going to have to teach them what winning looks like, because they were throwing possessions away with early shots and just bad shot selection that ultimately was throwing the ball into transition for the Brooklyn Nets to kind of get easy buckets to get back in the game at the worst possible time. When you're in the last 3 minutes of a basketball game, the last thing you want to see is guys taking off rhythm shots and dribbling into 3-point shots when you're up by 4 and 5. Those are the type of things I saw our young guys doing. Our coach is going to have to dig in with them and help them understand what losing looks like versus what winning looks like, because they definitely showed us that they had some losing instincts, and I'm not going to hold back in regards to that. So that's not a bad thing as it pertains to we can teach from here, but it's going to take some teaching. We cannot put them in those situations in the regular season. They will blow some leads for certain. So that's really where I'm at with it, man. I wish the stats would pop up so I can tell you more about what's going on, but it's just not happening, man. I've been fighting with this thing all night. It seems like I got to log into the Wi-Fi every 5 minutes. I don't know what that's about. But nevertheless, you know, I appreciate everybody for rocking with me in regards to this. I'm having a great time now that our Lakers are back. Of course, I'm going to get into the swing of things. The more games we have, the more content I will give you. Of course, this is a preseason game, so we're not really thinking too much about wins and losses and criticizing coaches' rotations and stuff like that. But even if I were to, I honestly didn't see anything wrong with the rotations. We kept adequate amount of size. We used players in position. I thought guys were showcased properly to see what they can do. I was very pleased that Max Lewis was able to get his his hometown featuring, I guess you could say. And we kind of got away from the cold hand, which is something I always say I want to see us do for the most part. So I didn't really have any criticism, even if there were some to be had. I thought Darvin did a fantastic job with this particular game. So, 2 preseason games in the books. We definitely know we're a three-point shooting team at this point. We're not who we were last year. That three-point discipline stuff is out the window. When you bring in the personnel that we have, we want to attempt shots in the way that we did. And I thought we shot a very good percentage tonight. A lot of that had to do with guys just flat out being hot. I don't know that they will stay that way from behind the arc. But we got the personnel. Guys like Taurean Prince. You know what I mean? Max Lewis. Guys like Max Christie, even though he didn't shoot it well tonight. Christian Wood. We just have more three-point shooters on the team. Guys who are more than capable. Gabe Vincent, even though he didn't shoot it well tonight. Overall, we just have the personnel to be able to take threes in ways that maybe we didn't have last year. So it's new personnel. It gives you new goals in regards to what your team is going to be about. And I'm excited about what type of offense we can put on the floor. And I'm not as excited about our defense from rotation to rotation. We're going to have to keep certain defensive players on the floor to keep it from being just an offensive score, you score, I score, you score type of situation with teams. But I felt like when you put a guy like Demoy Hodge, and I've said this a couple times, you put Demoy Hodge on the floor, he's going to get some stops for you. And he's going to help you with the catch and shoot situation specifically. And you saw him sneak around and get that steal down the stretch of that basketball game. That was a winning play. So that's why I want us to keep him close to the big squad. I know he's on a 2-way contract, but we're going to want to use him in certain situations. Colin Castleton, I thought, like I said, he really played well on the offensive boards. I know he likes to dribble the ball off the rim and take it down court, but you're in the big leagues now. Got to keep your dribble. There were certain situations there where I just thought he was a little herky-jerky. He's going to have to work with our coaches to try to get his dribble package in order if he wants to have that role on this team. But I'm pretty sure he'll have that. He's a rookie. We're not worried about it. So, yeah, it's a lot to like. And what is really encouraging is you saw some very key players have absolutely off nights. Don't expect that. So if everybody gets it going at the same time, we could do some crazy things scoring the basketball with this team, man. Really, really, really talented offensive players that we've added to the situation. So that's pretty much where my head goes, man. I would love to give you more, but, stats ain't really popping up. And because I was expecting to be able to use these stats, I didn't kind of memorize it like I would normally try to do last year, as to which I wouldn't get it right a lot of times anyway. But the device is here. That's the main thing. So we just got to find a way to get the Wi-Fi that we need to work. And from there, we will be able to give you much better quality. But it's preseason for everybody, including BDL 44. So I thank you guys for being patient with me. And that's pretty much what I have. Thank you for watching. I'm out.